the
The,
microphone thing.
oh, yeah.
But we're here. Hi.
I can't. It's backward
Is
there.
it doing?
Well, no, my
Is it?
hair.
Oh.
Good morning.
Hi.
Sunday, October 5th. It feels like summer here in Vermont. It's so warm and warm.
Yeah.
So I woke up from. I'll just start.
Go
Can I
ahead.
start?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
woke up from this like super stressful dream. Like I was needing to move, and there was like all these people, and it was like chaos. And then I realized I had no boxes for anything. And then there's this woman who was kind of in charge of like she was supposed to be in charge of moving out. It was like moving out of a dorm or something like that. And but she wasn't getting the information that we really needed about when we were supposed to move. Like so, I was trying to find the information, and it was great because I've been sick. Like so, last week I was sick, so I just feel sort of this drained, headachy, sore throaty thing that just is like lingering enough that it's just like kind of annoying. And then I had this really stressful dream, and then I've also got like I really want to fix up the house a little bit today, which always triggers my sort of ADHD of like pressure and stress, even though that's absurd. Um, Absurd being like my reality testing around it isn't. But it was like so I woke up with all this and it was like ugh. But then I was able to just go back to my work. Like it's like one of these things where it works as a not just a long term trauma healing spiritual practice or however you'd want to look at it in
Mm.
terms of
Right. Just.
change over the big long spectrum because it certainly does that.
Mm.
But it also is like just super regulating. Like my
Mm.
place is that my landlord is my homework place from a dream is that my landlord is outside. He's like, I got your tub. Like he's going to put in this bathtub. So we live in this old house that we moved into, Wake and I, about 4 years ago. And it's got this beautiful clawfoot bathtub, and I love taking baths. And this, I want to talk about why. And so we have this leak in this bathtub, and it hasn't, so we can't take baths.
Oh, bummer.
Um, which, especially when I was sick, I was like, ugh. So our landlord has ordered us a bathtub. He's like, it's coming in a few weeks. Like, and he's on top of this stuff. So we're sort of waiting. I'm like, be sure, great to have a bathtub for winter. And he's like, I know, we'll get it.
Well, what about the
That one's
downstairs?
like,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
What about your fourth Lamborghini? You could
Right.
drive
I know. I know. I'm
that.
like, you should say my about that, but
It's
yeah.
not.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No. See, this is my.
Okay. Anyway, I understand. Go ahead.
It's not as comfortable,
Mm.
even though it's like Art Deco bathroom and kind of lovely. It just can't really sit in it.
Mm.
So, plus it's downstairs,
Mm.
and like I like crawling out of the bathtub into my bed.
Mm.
There's a lot of privilege going on here. So I so part of that is that my earliest childhood memory of feeling any kind of nurturing or soothing in my body was I remember very distinctly. I know when and where it was because we were living in this place for a short period of time. I remember being really sick, and my mom, I think, was strep throat, and my mom made me a hot bath. And I got in the hot bath. I was like, holy shit! Like, I didn't know my body could feel this way.
Mm.
Like, it felt so nourishing and so
Mm.
warm and holding and all that. And so there's a piece of that that's there. And so this morning when I woke up and I'm all stressed and trying to like remember what my place was, I actually needed to open up my dream
Mm.
document to
Mm.
see. It was like, oh, I can just because of where I am in my work, and I'm not
Mm.
saying this is easy, and it's almost always the struggle, but especially as you're just opening up to being in the work, it's like
Mm.
it's a promise that's hard to say. Don't worry, you're going to be able to feel better immediately if you do your homework because it doesn't
Right.
really work that
Right. Or
way.
it's going to become less of a thing
Yeah,
that you have to. It's going to become more of like a natural. You just don't have to think about doing it. You just
right.
do it.
And it also like the place for me is it doesn't until it doesn't bring instant
Real.
or
Yeah.
soon relief.
Yes.
It
Yes.
takes a
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
it takes the time it takes, as our wonderful friend Krista has
Mm.
said. So, but this morning it took the time I needed it to. which was like my body was just so activated and drained, and I feel like I have this day, like it's Sunday, and then I go back, I have a heavy workload, and I like, this is the one day when I have all this other stuff that I need to do, and plus it's gorgeous outside, so I need to take advantage of Vermont, and and then I'm just able to feel like, here's Paul with the tub, like here's the animus, and it's just like, I don't need to do anything, like it's just, I don't even need to put the tub in. Like that's one of the things I love about my landlord is he just is like,
gosh.
burp, it comes in and he does stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he loves doing it.
Yeah.
He made a ladder the other day and he's like, look at the ladder. I was like, yeah, because he made this cool thing. He's like, yeah, I'm proud of that design. It's like he, like I don't feel weird asking him for stuff because he enjoys engaging in it, which is really cool. Like such a blessing to live in a place like this where it's like we're taken care of. Oh, so all of that is like projection and transference onto the landlord, and but it's wonderful because last night's dream was like just that pressure and chaos and alone, and even though there were all these other people sort of helping, they didn't really know what they were doing, and I had no idea how much time. It's like that deadline thing, but you don't know when it's the deadline, So, oh shit, here's the tub, said the fairies is what I called this morning. And it's like that. It's like I can, in this place, and this is the promise of healing, because I've seen it not just for myself, but for others. It's like you can change your central nervous system really quickly instead of it being feeling so stuck. And it's not just changing the central nervous system, although it's part of it, it's also receiving, which is part of the thing, but it's not just like the physiological calming.
Right. What I love, and I didn't really understand, or I don't know, but about this, particular work with dreams, and dreams, to me, I can't separate this sort of style, of dream work with anything else, because this is my way or whatever. But it's like for so long I was just like whoa, like I'll be in outer space on this other planet, like
which is where the dreams feel.
Yeah, which is like I can do that. That's why that's what has kept me here, and what I was like, oh, this is my home. This is my home. Like the world of the dreams, like it's my home.
The vertical.
And it's so funny. I was reflecting running down here, like about so many things in a short amount of time, and this is sort of one of them. Was like I kind of didn't understand what was going on when I started working my dreams with I was like, I don't know what's happening, but even if I was told what was happening, I still didn't know what was happening. I was
you weren't like experiencing.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, I'm just I'm gonna like I like this, even though I don't understand it, I can't explain it, and like so. And then long after, I realized, oh my gosh, this has given me something that is beyond anything I could ever imagine on a practical level.
Right.
Like it feels like not practical, and like it's very experiential, and like
an esoteric.
There is like ultimately what I feel, and is that the dreams and this work and our experience of our dream places and everything is trying to put words to something where there really are no words that can actually describe it. And part of this work also is deep somatic therapy and deep like somatic healing, and bringing us back into our bodies and the feeling experience, physical experience of our bodies, like like you said, it's grounding. It's very grounding, and that's the sort of nervous system stuff but I feel it as just like a sensual experience, and stepping into the invitation to step into some like the sensual experience. and that our dream places bring, like these specific places in our dreams, like these moments in our dreams that we are invited to return to between sessions. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and not just like, I mean, in whatever way you can, even if, and returning to can be like, oh, I can't get there.
Right, I'm not
You know,
feeling
like
it. Yeah.
feeling where you are in relation to that place,
Mm-hmm.
because we can't we can't take a step toward until we feel where we are, how far we are in whatever, or
Right, and
whatever you want to
sometimes the
say.
work is feeling how far removed you are
Yeah, and
from
that is incredibly
love or
valuable.
support. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's, I'm really feeling this thing about so there's that, and like what you're saying is the practical. It's sort of like it is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't feel it as that. And also it was because was so, the flavor of my trauma was such that I was trying so hard, and I really did feel like it needed to look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Me too.
I was like very, very, very ardently like harsh with myself, and again, like trying really hard, and like wanted to please, and like there's all
Mm-hmm.
this that stuff in there. But through that, even through that, what I did learn is this sort of natural, now it feels very natural, and like I have incorporated this into my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, oh, things happen. I'm like, oh, so then I have the tool of the dream, um, to, and then the dream place, to be like, so if you have that, this sort of both ends of the feeling place, the depth of feeling place, whatever
Mm-hmm.
that is, but then also showing the what we're doing to avoid that place,
Mm-hmm.
and the behaviors, and also getting to know the feeling and vibration of that place of avoidance,
Mm-hmm.
or, I mean, that sounds more
As a
judgmental,
well,
and
but it is. Well, to me, it's the exact opposite of
yeah.
judgmental
Oh, right.
because it's
Okay,
just
good.
witnessing the place
Yeah,
as opposed to
yeah,
being like, this is the thing keeping me from feeling my feelings, or I'm not
yeah.
feeling deeply enough. Like
Right, right.
in the old days, I would have woken from this dream and been like,
I'm fucked.
like, why am I still having stress dreams? Like,
Yeah,
why am
yeah,
I not feeling
yeah.
myself as the boy with the animus in the dream? And like, I must be doing something wrong, or I'm not feeling enough, or and it was so different because I can just experience it as the contrast. Like,
Right, right,
of course,
right.
there's still a protective part of me or my psyche that's like, oh my
Yeah,
God, we got to get shit
yeah,
organized.
yeah,
Oh my God, because that's what I lived with for decades
yeah.
and decades of this, just this compression feeling that was getting projected out into the world. Where like, what's out there that I need to kind of like
Mm-hmm,
get control over,
mm-hmm.
and instead of waking up and being like, great, decades of work, and here I am
Yeah,
having this
right,
stress dream.
right, right,
You
right.
know, it's like, instead it's like, oh, huh, there's all of this. And I woke up exhausted because it wasn't a very restful sleep. But I
Mm.
was able to be like, after time, like, and it wasn't easy. I just, for some reason, I feel like I need to like stress that. Like, I needed to go back to my writing of my
Mm-hmm,
dream to feel
mm-hmm,
into the place where it becomes less of this abstract idea of like, oh, the animus is bringing me this bathtub, and I used to
mm-hmm,
like nurturing baths, and so
mm-hmm,
symbolically it's,
mm-hmm,
and instead it's like I can feel his smile.
mm-hmm,
I can feel the connection with him.
mm-hmm,
It's almost like pre-water, pre-bathtub. It's
mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm.
so the dream itself isn't this like, oh, but the ego wants to get in and judge.
Yeah,
It,
sure, sure.
like,
And that's part of what really been feeling, and I think that can't be
this is our local
said.
sponsorship, the canteen in
That can't be really
Provincetown.
said enough, though, because the thing is, and maybe I mean, I'll, speaking obviously, if it's not, I'm always sort of speaking for
If
myself,
it's
and
okay with you guys.
um, but I just had so much, and still, it's something I'm still threading out, like weeding
Mm,
out, like these, like, fine, the sort of fine splinters of this is like the cactus, those really fine
mm,
cactus pricky things, like,
mm-hmm,
and where it's like they're still in there, and it's like of judgment,
mm-hmm,
and it's like one thing that we're taught is really that I mean, really, that all feelings are bad, but we're also confuse reactions with feelings. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody differentiates. So it's very messed up. And
Mm-hmm.
also, particularly like if you're a certain person, like for a common thing is for women that anger is very like poo poo. It's
Mm-hmm.
very bad. It's
And
bad.
and sensitive new age guys
Yeah,
as
yes.
well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like anger is, so you learn like anger is bad. So
Mm-hmm.
you, and then it's like every time, you're angry. So you have a dream that has anger and it's like thank God, to bring some, let's like really hold this in the light that is meant to be held, where
Mm-hmm.
but that thing of certain things being wrong is so embedded that it really, it's like you can know rationally, or you can reach a point where it's like okay, you can hear like every feeling is okay or whatever, but to really really get that
Mm-hmm.
inside is,
Mm-hmm.
so there's all these judgments that are put on our dreams, and like these ideas, and like especially if you have stuff with like wanting to please and
Mm-hmm.
just like, or just wanting to look good, which who doesn't have
Or
that, who
wanting,
doesn't have that?
right, and wanting to reduce the stress and like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to do this to
So
get,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, this anger, well, oh, like on all these, like I want this anger to be processed because to be part of my deep, well, it all is part of your deep healing, like seeing the shadow stuff
Mm-hmm.
and seeing, there's no difference, like it's all made of love,
Once
like
you get into it and get
yeah,
curious about
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it's not like
but
that's going on in the world. It's all
right,
about
right. Well,
right,
that's,
yeah.
and that's kind of my point, and what I'm really feeling a lot of is, with a lot of the people that I'm working with, is like all these embedded judgments where it's like so assumed that something is bad,
Mm-hmm.
like that it's, that I'm like, oh wait, there's a thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait, what's happening? Because the dream isn't saying that that is bad. The
Mm-hmm.
dream is not saying that. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
saying, hey, there's this and there's this,
Right.
and and get to know both of them,
Mm-hmm.
because in getting to know, and in getting to know that the things that we're doing that protect our place, the
Mm-hmm.
behaviors of the protector, like that we, the things that saved us and got us to where we are, that are no longer serving our souls, no longer are so important and valid, and the more we get to know actually the feeling and investigate those with that curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
the more we can catch it as we're going through our daily life of
Mm-hmm.
going to pick up the kids and going here and going there and doing our lists and doing,
Mm-hmm.
running our errands and being at work and dealing with, not dealing with, but being in the kind of everyday projection and reaction of that is everyday life, and
Mm-hmm.
just like, and then we can, our bodies, for me, my body starts to feel it. I feel it, and I'm like, oh, I'm having that. Wait, my body is feeling this way, and
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's like a lot right now. My trauma like comes up in the back of my neck and the bottom of my head and starts to creep back in the back of my skull, and that's,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like there's buckshot in it. It feels like I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, bah. And I'm like, okay, wait, this is my trauma. Like, so I don't even know. All I know is I'm having this feeling in my body, and this is my trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So let me take a breath. Let me go back to my dream place. Like, let me take another breath. It's like, and then it's like, then I have the place of the dream, and that specific place of the dream and that scenario for me, it's like funny, it brings up another thing that I've been thinking about, but for us, for me, it's being Taylor Swift on stage, like Frozen, not being able to sing. And there's a lot to that. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot more to that. Not in a story, on a feeling level. There's a lot to that.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, that's my place to return to. And then when I do that, it's amazing because the dreams are, and that specific place offer the support. That's the
Mm-hmm.
container to hold the feeling of the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can be with it more. And then I'm like, and then it's like, more space opens up in there, and then it's like, oh, like there's, wait, I'm like, there's fear, there's pain, there's, wait, there is more space. It's like as I return, there's more. It's the kind of the compression
Mm-hmm.
opens up. It like all opens up. So, and then that kind of the feeling of the trauma, like a cycle will move through. And then I'm like, okay, okay, and then whatever, then on
Mm-hmm.
to the next thing. The other thing that I was just thinking of is I want to mention it because this is a little bit, I'm a little bit there. I can feel a little bit there where sometimes sharing the specifics of like the inner places and the inner work don't feel right. It's like a thing
Mm-hmm.
that we've talked about, like the discernment of like when do I share this and how much do I share? Because
Mm-hmm.
some of the things are maybe meant to, either just be kept because they're so like of the
Mm-hmm.
incredible sacredness of them and like the incredible intimacy of them, of these things that happen like in our internal, worlds. But then there's another thing where speaking about the thing can actually be a way to offload
Mm-hmm.
like the intensity of it
Mm-hmm.
or
Talking
yeah.
about,
Yes.
which can flatten
Yeah.
the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the great Mark teaching of explaining, plain, which it
Mm-hmm.
does like really kind of bleh, like
And there's no right way, right?
yeah.
And so it's like it's again, it's a thing to feel into. Like I love
Yeah.
what you're saying. You're like
Yeah.
sometimes
Mm-hmm.
sharing this doesn't feel like the right thing.
Right.
Sometimes it's exactly what
Yes,
one might
absolutely,
need
absolutely.
also.
Yeah.
I just had this really cool realization around the dreams too, which is like the wonderful places where like things light up for me is like the dream that I had last night was all about I need to move out, I need to move out, and I have all this stuff. And the dream with the tub is like
Move.
moving in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, we're actually going to make the place you're in even better. And it's sort
Mm-hmm.
of part of, there's a lot there. I can just feel, even just saying that, all this opening of like, just like not having a home, like
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
having a home in me,
Yeah.
and so then all my stuff becomes a lot of weight and confusion
Mm.
and it's like this place that we're in feels like a home. Like I just am so great. I love where I live right now,
Mm.
and I've got
Mm-hmm.
like my records all around. I'm finally
Mm-hmm.
organizing them, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like
Yeah.
slowly but surely, as a man with such severe ADHD, like or getting things a little bit organized,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not fast enough for Wake's desires.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you got more records? You haven't even put these away, Dad. Um, I was like, but it was a 50% off sale at
Mm-hmm.
Ubiquity Records in San Francisco. I had to buy them. Um,
Mm.
so it's like, yeah, I'm moving in. It's like I'm being helped to move in. Like,
Mm.
oh,
Mm.
because my landlord holds this place of like, we found this place in a real connected way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
a friend told us about this place being here and they were just fixing it up. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like they made it for us. Like they just bought it. I feel that. I don't want to say that really, but like on an internal level, I can just feel this space that I'm in more and more as home
Mm.
versus the having to move out. And I don't have boxes for my, ridiculous number of CDs. Like
Mm-hmm.
in the dream, there's like all these CDs and I don't have a box for them. And then I realize there's more CDs behind the receiver that I hadn't had space to put away. So it's just like this, like, there's no resolution in the dream at all. Well,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the resolution's to relax and remember I'm home
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for me,
Right.
you know.
Right, and that deep care, like again, what you said about, the smile and like the what else is in there in the dream, which is, as an example of like how perfectly specific dreams are.
Mm-hmm.
You have the background of being able to feel when you were a child, when you were taking, which is a huge thing for
Well, it's
you
in
and
my
your,
body.
yeah,
What the first time I ever felt comfort, I can connect
yeah, yeah,
to this hot bathtub in this little
yeah,
apartment in downtown New York City, where
yeah.
the world was 1977 and
Mm-hmm.
the world was too much.
Right, so in comes this man knowing this about you
Mm.
already,
Right.
who is like, I'm going to do it. It's
Yeah.
coming, I'm going to put it in.
And he really like when I in the horizontal, the real world, the waking world, he really appreciated my desire for the tub.
Oh, that's
Well,
nice.
because he said, I said, and I was able to say, like, yeah, it'd be really great to have a tub for the winter. He's like, yeah, like, it wasn't like, oh, here's our list of things we need to do for the house. It was like
Mm-hmm.
an acknowledgement of it.
Mm-hmm. Right, that beautiful like right, like
Yeah.
human being, like human, oh yeah, like I
Mm-hmm.
can feel that. And that's relational, in
Mm-hmm.
even in that small way.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. I remember the opposite of that. I have an example of,
It
but
happened once.
no, is I was fussing with my scarf, it actually made me kind of think of it. But um, one of my other jobs is working at this restaurant, as I've shared, and there was a manager there, and she was really super into like uniform, like you have to wear these shoes and this is the uniform and
Mm-hmm.
like you cannot stray. And
Mm-hmm.
I had like I've been, just buying these, this one's about to, at the end of its life, these particular scarves, they can take a lot of, use and abuse and whatever. And I'm just very, it's very hot and cold, and where I work is in the back. There's a door that's always opening and closing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would have my scarf under the counter and just put my scarf on. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, you can't wear that scarf. And I was like, but it's freezing. And she was like, no, you need a black scarf. You need to go buy a black scarf. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I don't wear black. Like, I'm not gonna buy a black scarf. Can I just have this scarf? No, it's a black. And it was like a huge thing. I was like, but it's freezing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so cold. Like, and it was so crazy. Like, I felt crazy. I was just like, and yes, was I being a pain in the ass? Because I was just like, I'm never ever, at the time I was like, I'm not gonna have this job for that long. I'm not gonna pay like $25 or $30 for,
Mm-hmm.
or for a scarf that I hate. It feels like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to wear a black scarf. Like, so we were both, okay, we're both stubborn, and
Mm-hmm.
we're both like stubbornly, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing that killed me about it the most was I was like, on a human level, can you understand and agree with me that it is very cold,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like so
Like
insane
there
to me.
wasn't even the acknowledgement
There
of
wasn't.
need of
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
need
yeah,
is here.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Like
And
we
it's
can
just
figure the scarf thing out maybe at some point, but like
right,
right now,
right. Can I
I have a
please?
need,
Yeah.
you know,
Can I?
and I understand this is going to wreck our sales.
Yeah,
Me
yeah,
wearing the scarf, like
yeah, yeah,
clearly today the sales are going to be down by
yeah,
like
yeah.
300% because word's going to get out about the scarf that I'm wearing
Yeah, it's just like
onto the streets.
so funny, because that also, like
Mm,
on a human being, like that also could be exactly a dream that someone has.
of,
And it seems like I had a dumb dream
mm,
where I was at work,
right.
and my,
But that's the beauty, right?
that's what
And
I'm
I know
saying.
you're right. That's what you're saying. And like the beauty of it is like we then get to see what's happening inside out there
Mhm. Mhm.
and how we react and
Mhm.
respond to it. And
Mhm.
it's so much fun for me now because I've been able to move out of this super oppressive, nihilistic depression experience that I had for so long to be like so curious about my reactions, you know, which is a
Mhm.
huge thing because I had to like be right. And now I don't have to
Mhm.
be right. And it's like, so when I go into a reaction with somebody or around something, it's like to be really fucking curious about what's happening for me.
Mhm.
Again, without that judgment of good or bad. Like the example I think I talked about it here, but the one that has been coming up is this kind of fight I got with this guardian of one of the folks I work with. And it's like, yes, I was in reaction,
Mhm.
but I also didn't fawn. You know,
Mhm.
it's like I don't, which means like I'm not like, oh, I did the right thing as opposed to the wrong thing. I'm curious about all of it.
Mhm.
I'm curious about because it's unresolved still. It's like, well, what do we
Mhm.
still do? Like the whole thing is
Mhm.
unresolved,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I have no interest in talking to this person again, and yet they're the guardian of somebody I work with, so
Mhm.
they're like a useful person for this person I work
Mhm.
with, and it's there's this complicatedness to it, but
Mhm.
I can feel the spin wanting to pull me in back into it,
Mhm.
and I can feel it's funny, I just noticed the thing that wakes it now spinning. We could put, that's what we should have. Everybody should have like a little light
Now spinning,
now
they click
spinning,
on.
like when they're in reaction and like in
Yeah.
stress, it could be like,
Yeah.
just so everybody knows, now it's spinning.
Yeah.
Probably not the time to do problem solving with
Right.
me.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
is not the moment
Yeah.
to figure things out
Yeah.
because I'm now spinning.
Yeah.
When I do this, there's a dog over there. So you guys don't think I'm
Yeah.
like talking to somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
Anunoby is patiently awaiting the end of "Oh shit," said the fairies.
Mm.
You're such a good dog.
There was another thing that I was thinking of.
Hi.
Oh, I think the other thing that I was thinking of is there is, I mean, it's just not just the judgment, back to the, because of something that you said, that back to the judgment of, that we, of our feelings, which we're taught, and that to be ashamed, and that they're bad and wrong, and then so we internalize that, and then also, we judge our own dreams, especially when you start working, if you're starting to work with them, it's like this whole nother level of, and then there's also like that, well, I had a bad dream, like I had a bad dream, like not bad dream, people say bad dream like that it was just a dream that was scary, or like that where they
but even those are often considered bad. I'm not gonna, I need medication to not have nightmares, which I, again, no judgment, but I can feel how I just am like, whoa, there's opportunity, like you had the scariest dream and I just want to be there with you because oh baby.
Yeah. And I feel like it's like any time there's the sort of that shadow side, is brought out, I feel like it's like incredible, like it's a celebration. Like, and I just feel like, oh, great. Like, yes, like, let's do it. Like, let's try to find, where does that come up? Like, where else is that in your life? Like, how, because that, it's like so integral to growth. It's like, it's like, that's part of what is, I couldn't do, like, have a practice of any sort. Like, I consider this to be a spiritual practice, of dreams, but like, in terms of growth and healing, having something without that mirror the shadow stuff is like, I don't feel could really be transformational, because otherwise it's all kind of like controlling, and for me, controlling, and like hydro contorting and stuff, just like kind of like spiritual bypassy stuff. So I get really excited, and I'm like, bring as many as you can. Like, it's so great, but, and it's also that's hard to hear sometimes. It's like, that's what I'm saying, and realizing it's so, and I want to say that because I feel like for everyone, it can't be sort of spoken enough, this idea of to just have a different experience, or have a different idea about like what a different take. That's why the internal family systems language is so revolutionary to me, of just like the protectors, because like, yeah, it's just, that's it, it's not a big deal.
Right.
It's not a big, and that's the thing, is the ego wants to get involved,
right.
and be
It's
like,
this
oh, this is bad.
It's like
oh,
this negative aspect of
yeah.
you needs to not be there, and it's there, and it's going to stay there until it gets recognized for what it's doing and why it's there. Like, I had this dream where like a couple of weeks ago, where I was really in the dream, terrible, depressive, oppressed, scared, immobilized state, which is how I've lived a lot of my life. And there were these two black guys there, and I was like, I'm not okay. But it was like this desperate feeling, which I know doesn't help me connect.
That
like,
desperate feeling.
That desperate feeling, I can't receive. It just spins me faster and faster.
Right, because that desperate feeling, you're already, like, if it's that desperation is there.
Right, and so what I felt different this time was not like, oh, I got to remember not to feel, I got to remember not to reach out for help in that way, or this way I've been trying to figure out the right way to reach out for help. I just have so much compassion for that part of me that had no other choice except to say, like, I'm really terrified, and like, I'm alone, and I'm terrified, and it's not like, oh, I need to be vulnerable and ask. Like, I was like, no, I'm fucking desperate, and I've had enough of a container where people have just kind of held that for me, so that I can start to be vulnerable. Right? It's like, now I can feel the context of like, because I have some capacity to step in and be like, okay, I'm in reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the past, I could be told I was in reaction, but it didn't
Mm-hmm.
fucking matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then it
Mm-hmm.
just felt like a judgment.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
like, oh, you're in
Yes.
reaction. Here you
Oh,
go.
well, I guess I
Yeah.
suck. I guess nothing
Yeah.
I'm saying or what it's a huge
Mm-hmm.
it sweeps everything off the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as though there's nothing valuable or
As if there's
real or
not a tub being moved
yeah,
towards me.
yeah. Yeah.
As if there's not this, like, extraordinary
Mhm.
feeling of love and connection that just is there. It's
Mhm.
not accessible as like 24/7. It's not like sticking a needle in your vein. It's like,
Mhm.
but it's there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we can be in the shatter. There was this great sentence. It was like, just because you're in the just because there's just because you're in the shatter doesn't mean that there's not the sun.
Mm.
It's like that, whatever you want to call it. Like for me, I can call it like the divine experience. That those words may not resonate for others, but it's like the place of just feeling okay in your body.
Mm.
It's like most people, like this is the thing, is that I think like most of us live in the shatter, and then we're managing the shatter
Mhm.
and trying to get out
Mhm.
of the
Mhm.
shatter,
Right, right.
and then that just
Right.
then the world becomes so fucking shattered as we
Mhm.
see,
Mhm.
versus like, wow, holy shit,
Mhm.
there's shatter and there's
Mhm.
this. And it's kind
Mhm.
of, I feel weird saying it because it's easier for me to feel now, and I don't want to give the impression that it's like that simple,
Right, right, right.
but it also
Yeah.
is like super hello, super promising. Anunoby's a good dog.
He's so sweet. I love him so
He's
much.
so cute because he like comes in
He's
the morning
so
and
cute.
he's like, okay, are you ready to wake up? Like he came in at like 5:15 this morning. He's like, I huh? And he like jumped up on
Now?
bed, and I was like, I petted him a little, and then he was like bark, rrr, rrr, and then I like just was like I fell back asleep, and I
Mm-hmm.
knew that he left. You left the bed because you don't like sleeping in the bed for some reason when I'm sleeping. And then he like came back like half an hour later. He's I can feel him sitting there. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, are you ready to get up? Because
Right.
I'm, oh, but like no rush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I'm just checking to see if you're ready.
Oh gosh. Doggies.
I keep drinking my coffee as if it's not just grinds at the bottom of the cup.
Yeah, it's like in TV shows when they're holding coffee cups and you can really tell there's nothing in it. It's like really, I'm like, come on, guys.
Oh,
Put something in there.
I'm gonna pull your tooth out.
Put something in there. Yeah. Oh. Oh. There he is.
You want to be famous?
There he is. No, he doesn't care. He's so cute. Aw, thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
It's lovely to be back.
Yeah, we'll try to make this a more regular thing. I was sick last week,
And then.
and I was away the week before.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't get to talk about the Lorde concert. I had such a great
you can.
revelation.
We don't need to stop.
I had this really big, big revelation. Slash, it was a big experience, and I feel like what it's like was a revelation for me
Cool.
or something. And
We could say, well, you have to tune in next week to find out. But I don't think we need to do that.
Yeah, I can do I can. So, um, I went to see Lorde in Montreal, and with our son and his girlfriend and my boyfriend, and I had no idea what to expect. Just wanted to go to a big show with Wake, and his girlfriend, and
Oh, right, because you've never been to a concert with him before.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. Just
Cool.
it
Not
was
quite
like
sure how to help you with that.
That's okay, Alexa. You can figure it out.
so. So I haven't kept up with Lorde. I bought her first album. I
Mm-hmm.
have a specific connection with which I'll talk about. But um, so whatever, we're there and the openers. Then she comes out and she's like, I mean, I'm so excited. It's so amazing. She has like this white T-shirt on with these two like eyes, like and I can't remember. I think it was a really high end. It looked really like one of those really high end shirts that looks like a T-shirt, but it's like probably $300 or whatever.
Mm.
Or and then these Levi's jeans on, and her band. We were like, is she not having a band? Like they were actually in the pits, so
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't see them. So it was just like her on stage, and um, they had a lot of camera, a lot of GoPro, like up close, like camera people where
Mm-hmm.
her face really close was up on the screen, but we could
Mm-hmm.
also see her like enough to feel I could watch her and watch the screen. And I was like, at one point she lifted up her shirt and like
Mm-hmm.
showed her belly, and they did a zoom in of her belly. She's very skinny,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, like I don't really like this. Like
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't feel, it just doesn't feel good. Like
Mm-hmm.
now I want to cry. Like I don't know. Like and I was judging and I was like, what's wrong with me? But I just, this is like what part of what made me fucked up, when I was a
Mm-hmm.
teenager. And like there's so much like, competition and comparison, and like I just feel like I don't know. I was like, that's not helpful. So I was like, okay, I was really feeling it. I was like, okay, hang on. Like, I want to stay here. I want to be in the experience of this
Not
concert.
get taken out.
Yeah. And I was like, whatever, so I'm like, and then she takes her pants off. Okay. There is a
Whoa.
song. Yeah. There's a song. And in the song, it says something like, she takes her belt off and everyone freaks out. And then, she takes her pants off and she's wearing these like boys boxer brief things or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So fine. She's like, it's not that big a deal. But I'm like, now I'm even more. I'm like, oh my God, I'm
Mm-hmm.
having a hard time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Like, I just feel like this isn't like is painful to some people and is not going to be helpful and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is like, I don't know how it happened, but I was remembering when I was in a band and there was one time that I was on stage, like,
Mm-hmm.
singing, and there were a bunch of people who had been at this open mic all came up on stage and were like with their
Mm-hmm.
instruments, and I was the singer. So I'm singing and there are all these people, and I was like, when I am singing, all I want to do all I want to do is like fucking take my clothes off. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel so it like it's really like it's I'm like, Amy, what if it's that?
Mm-hmm.
What if that is what is happening for her? Where she
Mm-hmm.
is actually so embodied and so much herself that she and doesn't have she's just like fully embodied
Right.
and really present, really present. She's not doing it because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, that's what if she's in that place. Let that be this for you. Like, let her be modeling that for you to
Mm-hmm.
remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember that place in you where you're so into something where you just want to like touch your own skin and like,
Mm-hmm.
and just like you feel sexy and sensual and you're in that place.
Mm-hmm.
And like that it's not, then that's all it's about. And it is very healthy. Like, let her embody that.
Mm-hmm.
So that I was like, this swap happened inside my head, and I was like, maybe she's just free, and like,
Or maybe you're just free.
yeah.
In
But I
that
mean,
moment.
right, and
Right.
both. So like, but I had to do it. I was
Right.
using the projection actually. I was like, I was
maybe
like, I
she's
took
free,
back.
and so I could, right.
Yeah, so I was like, let her be modeling that so you can remember that. So then she played, like, she started singing Royals, and I just started, which is the song. It's like, I remember the first time I heard it, it was like on the way home in the car right from our friend's wedding, and like, I would just kept saying to the people who were driving me, like, turn it up. Can you turn it up? Can you turn it up? And I just, she was singing that, and I was just sobbing. Like, I couldn't even sing with her. I was just sobbing, and it was just like, and then after that, the whole, it was like everything was like, I felt so empowered. I was like, it was amazing. So that was my, like, it was just electrifying, like the whole thing. And and I am I curious about what her experience was. Yes, but like I claimed my own experience, and I really turned around. I was like, wait, I'm all, and another part of it is like, I in the days following and the weeks following, I'm like, hey, what is that?
Come here.
um I'm like, how much do just helps me see and feel how I judge. Like, I've also internalized judging other women, and like, yeah, is it true that I was anorexic for years and wanted and all that stuff, and like it, and like, because of seeing skinny women's bellies and all that, and like, does it kind of trigger stuff for me also, of like, even now, like, it can trigger things for me where I'm like, oh, I ate too much today, or those old voices, it can like, and maybe it is that, do other people feeling that too, maybe, but like, really, I also was like, there's like this competitive thing and judging thing that is taught for between women, and so it's been really big for me to see a lot of things. And yeah, so anyway, that was my big revelation, is like, oh, is that, like, for me, is like, let it be just that moment, whatever that was, of like,
amazing.
yeah, and just like taking it back and just being like, remembering that place in me that is free, and like, just feels amazing and in my body, and like, connecting to that deeply sensual and wild, like, part of myself, that comes up when I'm singing and dancing. Like, it happens every time, it's like, that's just what that does. So so it was a real gift, a real huge gift. And yeah,
cool.
so that's it. Thanks.
Just the whole notion of how perspectives, we can just experiencing things as two or more, in two or more different ways. Like, it's
yeah,
woo.
yeah.
Cool.
See you next week.
Oh, podcast. I have another podcast called Old Heads, and me and my friend Tom just did an interview with Rob Swift, who is amazing and one of the great DJs on the planet, and just wrote a book about hip hop. And so go to Old Heads. It's on Apple Podcasts, and it's on Spotify, and check that out too.
Yeah, and reach out if you'd like to us. You can message us.
You can DM us.
Yeah,
you can check out Amy's website.
awtdreamwork.com, and just email me or call me. My info's on there. And yeah.
All right, everyone. I hope you have a good Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.